11 Super Bowls have been played since the inception of this league, and number 11 may have been the best one yet. This one was in Las Vegas, and surprise, surprise, CP Smooth and the Las Vegas Raiders are in it again, this time taking on fellow commish Senko and the Atlanta Falcons. Most of the time when we do these videos, the game is over by the third quarter. Did Senko fall victim to the same fate? Only one way to find out. Well, there's more than one way, but this is the most fun way, so let's go. Raiders, first play from scrimmage. They've got it, and they're about to kick it away because this play is going all the way to the house. 75 yards from Baker Mayfield to Travis Barber, and that thing was launched. Barber makes the catch at about the 13-yard line, no one ahead of him, and 8 seconds into the game, the Raiders are up 7-0. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Ensuing drive for Senko now, he's taking a bit longer to move it down the field. 3:09 left to go in the quarter, and they make a risky call, but it turns out to be the right one. On 4th and 1, Devin Singletary takes it up the middle for 6, and the drive continues. Next play, Greg Pritchard is throwing it, and he's going to find Russell Gage on the left side for 20 yards. Senko's having no issue driving downfield, and he's only 3 yards away from knotting this one back up. They lose 1 yard on first down, so on second they need 4, and Devin Singletary gets them all on the draw play out of the gun to the left side. Didn't even look like the Raiders were fooled on that one, but the speed of the runner combined with the skill of the player controlling him led to a missed hit stick, and after that it was all clear. Falcons tie it up 7-7 late in the first quarter. Ensuing Raiders drive after a big run from Jacobs, they give it to him again, and here's an example of a hit stick that doesn't miss. Safety Richie Grant reads the play like a children's book, steps up and delivers a wallop to the Raiders veteran halfback. Jonathan Allen is there to recover, and Senko takes over at his 39-yard line in the waning seconds of the first quarter. It's not often that CP faces much adversity in these games, but Senko has a real chance to show him some here. A few minutes later, Senko's still with it, now in the Vegas 31, but that number is about to get way smaller. Devin Singletary takes it once again, this time to the left side, cuts back up the middle, and grabs a 23-yard dash on that run. He is feeling good, and he should be. His team is within reach of a lead against the guy who's won literally half of the Super Bowls played in this league. 3rd and goal now from the 12. They lost a few yards on 1st and 2nd, but that is not a problem for Pritchard. He kind of dances around in the backfield a bit, but eventually he sees Darius Slayton in a soft spot in coverage and fires it in for the score. 3:26 left to go in the first half, and now the Raiders are in somewhat unfamiliar territory. It's not that they've never lost before, but they definitely usually don't, and especially not in games where they give you a trophy after. But this is a lot more familiar for Las Vegas, though. Mayfield rolls all the way out to the right side and fires downfield to old reliable number 83, Darren Waller, who goes up and makes the grab, avoiding the big hit, and then spins out of the time zone to the next guy who flies by, finally breaking a tackle to take it the rest of the way. And if you were keeping track of one-play drives that the Raiders have had this game, the total comes to 2. 75 yards, and just like that, the game is tied once again, and everyone watching this thing is in disbelief at how quickly that lead vanished for Atlanta. 14-14, 3 minutes to go. So, the Falcons have it again inside the 2-minute warning on the Raiders 41. Pritchard looks to pass, and he does so to rookie halfback Larry Bryant for 15 yards and a first down, keeping the drive alive. And that was a nice move by Bryant, a perfectly executed spin move on Trayvon Merrick that nets his team another 5 yards. Nicely done by the youngster out of Notre Dame. Next play, they're throwing again, this time to Slayton, and he goes up and snags it on a contested ball. Looks like CP read it perfectly, but when all is said and done, it's a catch and a 12-yard gain for Senko. Back-to-back first downs, and they are knocking at the door here late in the half. And that door would be open 2 plays and 30 seconds later. Bryant on the handoff takes it in from the 6-yard line, and the mighty Las Vegas Raiders actually go into the locker room trailing by a score of 21-14. Still lots of football to be played, though. Can Senko hold on and give CP his first ever Super Bowl loss? Halfway through the third quarter, Raiders still with them, taking up a whole lot of clock on this drive. This was their biggest play, a scramble by Baker Mayfield up the middle that resulted in a gain of 14 yards for the Silver and Black. But the drive does stall out there. Raiders into 3rd and 3, and Atlanta clamps down, forcing Mayfield to run. He doesn't quite get there, so the Raiders bring out the kicking team and draw 3 points closer. 21-17 Atlanta with 2 minutes left to go in the third. Senko really wants this chip, though, and he wants it bad. With the 4-point lead, he's not playing the clock game. He's playing the give me all the yards you can get game. There's 37 of them right there on the catch and run by Jeremy Randall. They're into Raiders territory now with a lead and under 2 minutes left to go in the third, and it's starting to look like CP is in trouble. If he's going to get out of it, he has to make a play on defense, and that is exactly what he does here on 3rd and 4. Bryan takes it to the right side. They miss one diving tackle, but Nate Hobbs comes up huge and stops Bryan just a yard shy of the line to gain, and we've seen teams gamble against CP before. Usually it doesn't work out, so Senko does the smart thing, takes the 3 points, and re-extends the lead back to 7 to start the 4th quarter. Raiders, though, are far from dead, and they know it. Baker Mayfield was extremely accurate in this one, completing 16 of 18 passes, and here's an example of that as he drops one right above 2 guys and below a third. Waller makes that catch easily, and it goes for 23 yards. One play later, Josh Jacobs gets the handoff and takes it through the middle and then bounces outside to his left. Excellent bit of running by the Alabama alum, puts the Raiders deep into Falcons territory, and it's starting to feel like the thing that we know is going to happen is going to happen. Even deeper in Falcons territory now, the Raiders looking to punch it in and tie this thing up. Mayfield with plenty of time, but nobody open, so he scrambles to his right, going for the goal line until a freight train comes up and flattens him like a pancake. That freight train goes by the name of Deion Jones, and that was his 4th tackle of the day, but the other 3 weren't quite as impressive as that one. Also impressive, Mayfield holds onto the ball there. Not super common for quarterbacks to do that after being hit that hard, but it turns out to be huge because now, after a holding call on Colton Miller negated a touchdown, they don't even flinch. They just run it back and put it in the end zone again, and this one counts. Mayfield finds Jacobs and gets it to him across the goal line, and of course, this game is going down to the wire. All tied up 24-24 with 2:57 left to go. They fail to gain a yard on first, so on 2nd and 10 with a running clock approaching the 2-minute warning, they run the play action and Pritchard fires to his left where he sees a wide open Slayton heading toward the sideline, and he gets it to him in time for Slayton to change direction and avoid the sideline, keeping the clock moving, and that is exactly the right move if you're Atlanta. Don't give CP the ball, and if you do, make sure as little time is left on that clock as possible. Although scoring is just as, if not more important than managing the clock. Devin Singletary gets his number called on this one, and the Raiders react quickly, stopping him after a gain of 1. They do not call a timeout, so Senko runs the play clock down to 11 before he snaps it, handing this one off to Bryan, who does get double the yards of the previous play. Unfortunately, 2 times 1 is 2, so another nice job by Vegas. That quickly it's 3rd and 7, and the Falcons now need to make a play or they're in for a tough task. And you guessed it, they're going to be in for a tough task. Pritchard running the play action rolls out to the right sideline, but no one springs loose, and the Raiders force him out of bounds at the 50-yard line, forcing a punt with 38 seconds left in regulation. And I say regulation because if you're Atlanta, the best outcome you can achieve now is going to overtime and winning the coin toss. You can bet CP is going to do everything in his power to prevent that from happening. Falcons punt was a good one. It pinned the Raiders down at their own 12-yard line, but remember, they're not playing for a touchdown here. A field goal is just as good, so instead of having to drive 88 yards to win, they really only need about 50, and there's 22 on the first play. When in doubt, air it out to Darren Waller. He comes up big yet again. He had 5 catches for 141 yards, and that one was enormous. Next play, Falcons expect him to throw it deep again, but they don't. Instead, going with the screen pass to Curtis Becton, good for 9 yards, and they call their first timeout with 20 seconds left to go in the 4th quarter. Ball on their own 43. They don't need a ton more to get into scoring range, and who else do they go to but Rack Wall himself? Darren Waller in the zone makes the grab for another 15 yards. They call their second timeout, and it's looking more and more like they're going to get this thing done. Not quite close enough to kick it yet. They're going to throw it one more time, and they do so successfully. Travis Barber had a pretty quiet day. He had that long catch in the first quarter, but that one there was clutch because it gets him into position. Now all they need to do is execute a play that most of us take for granted. That's right, the Super Bowl winning field goal. Easy peasy, right? Well, Atlanta uses their first time out of the half to ice the kicker, so if there wasn't enough pressure already on this man's leg, there's a little bit more for him. Daniel Carlson with a chance to be the hero for the Silver and Black in their own stadium. He does not disappoint. Just enough leg and plenty of accuracy, and for the 4th straight time and 6th time overall, CP Smooth and the Las Vegas Raiders are Super Bowl champions. It wasn't as dominating a performance as we may be used to seeing from him, but at the end of the day, CP gets it done and adds another trophy to his already impressive career in Max. Baker Mayfield had himself a day, going 16 for 18 for 323 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no turnovers. His biggest target was Darren Waller, who made 5 grabs for 141, including that 75-yard touchdown, and Max Crosby and Eddie Goldman both had 1 sack each. Rookie Falcons quarterback Greg Pritchard also played quite well, completing 15 of 19 for 177 and 1 touchdown, also giving up no turnovers, but of course the only number that matters to him is the final score, and he ended up on the wrong side of it this time. Hats off to Senko for taking CP closer to the brink of defeat than anyone else has before, though. He's proven multiple times that he belongs in the conversation year in and year out in this league. But once again, the Las Vegas Raiders hold strong in their home stadium and treat their fans to a Super Bowl victory they'll never forget. The final score from Las Vegas, Nevada, Raiders 27, Falcons 24. I'm Ace510. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on the Max Broadcast Network.